Hello, my Stitchcraft friends. Today we're working on a new book. I'm so excited about this one. It's all my favorite things. Um, in the description, there's a link to my Ko-fi site. You can go there and get free patterns or give me a little donation. Link to my Facebook group. Please like and hype the video. I appreciate those things. I'm so excited to get started here today. I have things I wanted to show to you. I have a Tana Lawn Charm Pack. This is Liberty Fabrics. Gosh, I had them all out and then I put them away. But they're just, look at the yumminess. So then this morning I made a little tiny quilt. This is going to go in my book. Because I like to quilt. This is going to go in my book. That's a little spool of thread, little charm, little spool thread charm, little, yeah. This is lace that I made. I have I have a book that has patterns like this. I don't know if I like the color. I saw a video, Shabby Dabby Doo Dah. She did this. Let me see. She used inks or something to. Anyways, it occurred to me that I have inks. I have, what do you call them? Ink tints, inks. I could try that. And if I used a bright pink, then it might come up like, maybe this color. That'd be cool. The other thing that I have here, I have a whole little package of lace stuff that I like. I have here, this is die cuts. I have a die cut machine. So I bought this whole package of circular die cuts. And I've used them more just for making circles than I have to cut stuff out. I did use them to cut this out. It's one of the Tana Lawn fabrics. This is my little doodle cloth. I did a doodle cloth. This is that Spanish knotted feather stitch. I want to put that around here, but I wanted to see if I could do dots so that they'd be, if you know me, if you follow me, I like the precise sort of things. This is another piece of lace that I have that I just tea-dyed. I like that. Might use it. I have these threads that came with my Sherry Iris Christmas tree kit that I think I'm going to use today. I started picking out DMC threads that might match. I have 524 and 407, and then I thought, well, I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm gonna use these. This one that is like this 407. It's very close. Yeah. So, where am I at? The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this down, and then I think this circle is going to go in next, and that's going to be I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So let me show you first what I'm going to do here. First, I'm going to grab my glue stick. And I don't need much. I just need enough that will hold that in place. I want it like this. I want to leave an edge just in case. And then I just have a tiny bit of yarn here, as I'm just going to do a few stitches to show you. I'm going to come up along that edge, and then I'm going down. You know what? I'm going to use this. When I made this, these little tiny stitches here, I don't know if you can tell, but they're extremely even because I used my little dealy. I just love this. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to come back up. Yeah, that's not going to work out very well, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. And you know what? I could stab stitch it. So this is just an overcast stitch. I thought about, if you look, I used my die cut for this. If you look very closely, it looks like stitching along the edge. But I decided I didn't want to stitch in there. So I'm going to just... I don't want these to be teeny tiny stitches that don't show. I want them to show. So let's put this back there. Okay, I did a stupid thing and I started recording while I'm standing up. But I'm going to stitch this on off camera because, you know, I can't do like an hour long. So I'm going to stitch that down and come back. If you're new here, welcome to my happy place. This is where I sit and stitch and make magic happen. These little dots, the blue ones are this mark begone. It disappears with water, and the red ones are a heat erasable pen. I changed the circle. I put dots on. I use dots to make perfect little stitches because that's what I like to do. These are from the Geometry of Hand Sewing, and I'm going to use this triangle dot grid, and I used this tiny one and just went around the circle. I have some dot grids on my Ko-fi site that you can get for free. If you go there, there's a link to a video where I showed how I use the paper dot grids. Anyway, this is a Spanish knotted feather stitch. I'm going to show you how it goes. I did the dots so that I could have perfect little tiny stitches. You start inside, you go into this triangle. I'm going to come out at that dot there. Then I'm going to wrap around this way like a twisted chain stitch. It has a cross over the top. It looks like a little fish. And then pull through. And then you don't want to pull too tight, just enough. And then again into the triangle on that line, and then I'm going to go up here to that dot there, and then around the needle this way so it makes a little cross or a little fish. I should just say a little fish because I like to say a little fish because it does look like a little fish. In the triangle, out on a diagonal See, what I'm doing is kind of a zigzag. So if you can imagine a zigzag, wrap the thread like a fish. And there we go. So I grew up in the 60s, and I loved to watch Bob Ross on TV. I think this is a little like watching Bob Ross, except it's better because you can pause to go to the bathroom. You can rewind to watch again. You can fast forward through my jibber jabber if you don't want to hear it. I think that's pretty cool. I think YouTube is just the greatest invention since sliced bread. I also grew up watching the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons in the 60s? Now, if you watched the Jetsons in the 60s, did you not think that by this time in our lives, have to go the other direction and make a fish? Nope. This way. That makes a fish. I should just pay attention to what I'm doing. I grew up thinking that by this time we would have hover cars. I seriously thought I would have a hover car. Didn't you? Anyway. All right, I'm making mistakes now. It's not quite so perfect as I might like it. All right, twist that way, make the fish, and pull through, and you have to pull this direction. I think that's what I didn't do right there. I may have pulled the wrong direction. Up there, make the fish, and then pull through this direction. This is a fairly new stitch for me. I really like it. Jennifer Clouston did this on her channel last week, I think. All right, make the fish. And then this direction in the triangle. And then up there. And then make the fish. Now I'm going to run out of thread, and before I start playing thread chicken, I'm just going to go down at the end of this and tack that down. And then when I come back, I'm going to start, I'm going to come up right there. Okay. I'm going to finish that off camera and come back. This is made of Pellon. It's a interfacing that's very, very stiff. I'll leave a link in the description to the Amazon page where you can get this. So I basically just cut half a circle, sort of a D, and then I marked out on this side, these are 1/2 centimeter. This side there, 1/4 of an inch. I use this one more than the other one. And then I decided I would also put marks around the round edge so that when I'm doing this, I can mark little dots. So, and then my stitches can be all perfect. So this is a chain stitch. I'm going to go in on this dot in the center of that loop and come back out on that dot. And my thread is wrapped around the needle, and I'm going to pull through and pull this direction. And then I'm going to hold my thread around like that so that I can loop it easily and then pull through that direction. And my dots, I don't know what happened with my dots, but they're not really even, or my stitches got off or something. But I did notice it, so. Now when I get to the end, here I'm at the end, I'm just going to loop around there, pull through, and go to the back. Then I want to whip this because I want a nice thick, so I'm going to come up to the top. Now I can just go through all of these stitches, and I think that's what I'm going to, blah, blah, blah. I think that's what I'm going to do at first, is just go like twice through each stitch, but that might not make it big enough for me. So I'm going to do that, and then I may also go through to the back and, you know, stitch over it around to the back. That makes sense. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to do that off camera and come back. I have the most beautiful bird song outside right now. He's just really talking. So tell me, if you have this book, this is a Jennifer Clouston foolproof flower embroidery. I just noticed something. Did you ever notice this before? This upright rows technique. And it just says start at the top and work downward using the desired stitch. Well, I tell you, I had to look all the way through the book to see if I could find an upright rows. And there's one right there. And that's bullion knot. And this one looks like a cast on stitch. So I tried a couple on my little, turn on my light here. Tried a couple on my little teeny tiny doodle cloth. This one is bullion knots. I didn't quite finish it. And this one is cast on stitches. I like them both. I do love them both. I may combine them and put on my little thing here. And if I don't like it, these would be much easier. Look at that. Those are colonial knots. I shouldn't say just colonial knots. Those are colonial knots, which are also very beautiful, which I love to use. By the way, I didn't quite finish this. I started out going all the way to the back and then back up. And then over here, I started just going through the top layer, and I like the way it looks a lot better. So I didn't, there's a little section right here where I just did the wrap the chain stitch. And to be honest, I just got tired of doing it. Didn't feel like doing it anymore. So I stopped. So I may finish that. I might not. We'll see. So this is a 5 wrap bullion knot. I did switch to a milliner's needle. And I have a different thread that is variegated. You can see as I pull it through the fabric. See, I have one little spot that's going to be really, really, really pretty. Okay, I'm going to do another bullion knot like right next to it, right up close, right like almost on top. And I think we did, what, 4 or 5 wraps? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can do these with stranded cotton, it's easiest to use a pearl cotton. If you used a pearl number 8, it would definitely be a bigger stitch and not as tiny. And I have discovered that with this, let me concentrate for a minute. I'm going to go right in the center of those. And then I'm going to do another bullion knot with this particular thread. And this is a lot different than other threads that I've used, and I really have to practice with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Does that look right? Let's let it go a minute. Oh, there's a wonderful breeze coming in the window. Oh, and it's like it's almost 5 o'clock, so it's like almost. It didn't get too hot today. It was rather pleasant. Okay, so that one goes right over top of those two. Then let me just look at my reference materials really quickly. I think the next one goes all the way. Yeah, the next one goes under. Next one is going to go over from this side all the way over to here. And I don't know why I'm counting because I don't remember what I just did. I think I did 12 wraps. I'll count anyways because that's what I do. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10. Wapner at 4. Just let that go a little bit and let it sort of untangle. And then, oh, look at that beautiful color there. All right, now pull through. This is the part I think that I wasn't getting before. When you get to this point, you have to be very careful. Look at that beautiful color. Now this thread has a lot of white in it. So I think the rest of the rose is going to be fairly white. What do I have there? All right. Now the next one. Okay. The next one is, there's two that goes sort of from here down here to the center. I want to unwrap. I'm just holding my project up and letting the needle drop and unwind. So two like there. I think I'm going to switch to a cast on stitch, which goes like this. One, two, three, four, five, six. One second. I have tweezers here somewhere. Little kitty cat tweezers. I don't know if you can see it. There's cat hair in there. And if I don't take it out now, it can get very involved. What is that, 4? I don't know. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This thread is, I think it's silk and wool, and I have too many, whoops, I have too many rough spots on my fingers, and I get stuck to it. All right, now with this one, I'm going to take my needle and go through that loop to the other side, and I want that to flatten out and pull down. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? Oh, my word. Now, another cast on stitch here. Now, I've never heard anyone say this, but I have found if I'm doing it on the left hand side, I'm going to do a left hand cast on stitch. Makes sense, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now the thing that I discovered with this stitch is you can unthread the needle and then thread it back up. It's kind of a pain in the you-know-what, but you can also do this. Sometimes I do this and just pet that thread a little bit to unwind it a little bit and pull it back out. That was on camera. And then pull through. Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm going to go through here. That helps it stay on its own side. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's so nice. Now, I'm going to try and pull this down like that. Okay, the next one, I believe, just goes from here to here. And I might just leave it at that. You know what I mean? And I might do this thing I'm going to show you. This thing I like to do. There we go. So if I get another needle, doesn't really matter what kind of needle it is, I'm going to put it right next to that one. There we go. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wish I could get those to stay apart. 9, and up. Hold on. You don't want to turn a tangle into a knot. I think that's enough. It's a shame that it doesn't have more of that pink on there. All right, then I'm just going to take out this needle and let's do that other trick that we did before where we pull this through. Doesn't appear to be too tangled this time. And then pet that thread just a little bit and then pull it back through. That's not, it's still a little bit tangled. Then put the needle through there and pull again. Sorry. I'm sorry, you're in my way. All right. Oh, heck. What the heck happened? It's supposed to be like that. There we go. Now we need don't know if she says to do this, but I'm gonna do 2 more. on either side. It's kind of pretty, huh? Or maybe just one more on this side. What do you think? You guys are probably talking to the screen saying, yeah, that would be good. I wish I could hear what you have to say. Oh, that's not right. Let's go right about there. Put this one in again. Oh, this time I want it really close. There we go. All right, here we go. Oops. One. Hang on. There we go. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. We're getting some of that pink again. Isn't that nice? 8, 9, 10. I think that's enough. I hope that's enough. Pull this one out. My bird went away. He was one of the main reasons I came back on camera. Because he was so pretty. All right. Okay, now put that down and go through there. And then, oops, I just dropped a button. And then, oh my gosh, my golly, what do we think? What do we think? What do we think? I think it got flipped around. It's supposed to be like that. Yeah, like that. With the okay, I'm not sure if I like it or not, but it'll be okay for now. Now, oh, excuse me, the next thing I want to do is I think I need to sit with it for a little while. I don't know why. Those blue marks keep coming back. I'm not sure why. The red ones with the heat erase things, it's so warm today, they're almost disappearing on their own. But the blue ones seem to come back when I put the iron on. All right, so the next thing that I want to do, I don't know what I want to do. I have these 3 buttons. I wish I had more of these. I only have 2. And I think they're really pretty. I have 3 of these buttons. One of them fell on the floor. So I think I'm going to take a picture with these 3 buttons and a picture with those 3 buttons. and decide. I need to make some decisions basically right now. Yeah. Oh, I also have this lovely stuff. Yeah, I also have, oh, this is my new, well, it's not really new, it's kind of new. This is my Sherry Iris Jane Austen thing. So I have new threads, and I think that between this one and this one, this is the one it's pink and white. I think I can do some thread painting here. I think that this color, this might work for the light parts. I don't know about that. And I don't know if this one will work for the dark parts. I think so. But I'm not going to do that on camera because I'm not very good at it. So I'm going to do some slow stitching tonight. Oh my gosh, I'm at 24 minutes right now. That's awful. All right, I'll be back. Well, here we are. The last part that I filmed was 2 days ago. I don't know if it's better if I pull it up. You saw me do that. I just added some bullion knots for a calyx, and then some detached chain leaves. I did a little bit of thread painting up here. I don't know if I like it. I don't like doing it. So I'm pretty sure this is not finished, but my video is. So I do want to share with you, though, some other things I've been working on the last couple days. I think I showed this to you, and I said I might want to. It was a little too brown for me. You know, I wanted to tone it down. Now it just looks bright. I might have to just get used to it, you know. I used pink, and then I used purple, and then I used a combination of the pink and the purple. The other thing that I've been working on is this. This is my cover. It's nowhere near done. It has to have lace and buttons and bits and bobs and, you know. And there's the inside. I might put a pocket there. I don't know. So there's that. I've been working on pages because, you know, I don't have a lovely Jane to make pages for me. I have to do them myself. I tried music pages. I didn't like it. The fabric pieces covered all the music, and so you couldn't see it. So this is a piece of scrapbook paper. It's cardstock scrapbook paper, and this is that little thing that I had. I made it into a hidden paper clip. It needs something on that side, and that's a different hidden paper clip that I already had. And I don't know, I don't know if I'm going to sew them down or if I'm going to glue them down or if I'm going to do one side so that you could flip it up and still see the back. I love a good backstory. So, I don't know. I think I want lace down the center of that. Haven't decided yet. Here's another little thing I made. Because, you know, I had a piece of this sitting on my desk and still in the needle. Couldn't throw it away, you know. That's all I got for now. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.